Hi Leo, this is your August 2021 reading. Happy birthday to all the Leos out there that are celebrating this month, and happy belated birthday to those fiery July Leos. I am going to start getting into your reading now, but gosh, you gotta fight for this love. Fight for something. Let's get into these cards. What a fiery reading, Leo. All this wand energy. We even have you here in the late July, August section of this reading, really coming into your power and sitting on your throne. Hey, it was Leo season, it still is, and you were really feeling that energy, like you always do, Leo, but this time around when the sun is in your sign, when the sun transits back and makes its solar return to our natal sun, it gives us a restored clarity of purpose, vitality. Now, we oftentimes can feel on our birthday quite overwhelmed, sometimes emotional. That's because the sun has made it back to the natal sun. It's fusing your natal sun with more solar energy, and it can be invigorating. So it can come up with some more intense emotions, but overall this is here, and the solar return is to give us a rejuvenated clarity of purpose. Okay, so let's get into these cards. We're going to look at this spread together, but I'll first take it back just a moment and look at the end of July and around your first week of August, Leo. You were putting up a fight for something, and it was a love to you that was worth protecting, worth fighting for. You did not give up for this. And if it isn't love in the Lover's card that you were looking for, Leo, and that you were fighting hard for, it was you're fighting hard for your desires then, basically. What is it that you actually really want and really deserve and desire? You were hustling for it, and you were saying, I'm not really going to settle, or I'm not giving up. You're not giving up. It's this fire and fight energy of this reading. It's making me hyped up, so I'm so excited to pull more cards and clarify this. But basically it seems like you've been feeling very strong. You've been getting recognition. You've been even probably advancing in your career in the later part of July going into August. And the sun in Leo, and it's just giving that extra kind of oomph to you and that extra confidence that you may have been lacking until now, Leo. Certainly doesn't look like you're lacking any confidence now. And then as we bring it forward into the present month, August, let's say now we're at the 9th of August as I record this. We have just had a new moon in Leo on the 8th of August. So yesterday that new moon energy would have created some new beginnings. I have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, moon energy here. So for Leo, that might have you might have felt like a new beginning taking place, or some sort of a small indication that this is going to be a step in a new direction rather than ending any old cycles. It seems to have been about just creating new. So in the month of August, I see you continuing to persevere for what it is that you have set your mind to, or what it is that you've decided that, like, you're not living without this. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a dream, and you will not give up on it, Leo. You're not backing down. I wouldn't want to come up against somebody who has this gusto, because you really deserve to be here. This person, and this is a Leo card too, and so is this. We have Mars and Leo here as well. And with this energy, Leo, I feel like you are persevering. There is no one that could take you down from this, not pedestal, but you deserve to. You climbed your way up here. It took you combative approaches. You had to overcome some combat even to get yourself up here. But the important thing to remember with the Seven of Wands is all of these people trying to take you down, they don't really deserve to be where you are. And that's always going to happen, okay? This is very much like, keep persevering. If you feel like there's haters out to get you, maybe there are, maybe there's some jealousy. The King of Wands can be jealous, and you know, you might have been feeling like there's some jealousy towards you, but you're fighting, you're persevering, you're basically not giving up, and nor should you. These cards are coming out as a reminder of your strength and great perseverance at this time, and it's all in the pursuit of attaining the dream, right? You want the dream. This doesn't just have to be a happy home, a marriage with children. That may be some of your dream, but this overall Ten of Cups energy is just whatever really makes you feel happy and satisfied and full up, and you look around and you just know and feel your blessings, and they're so obvious to you. Okay, we will look at the cards together and clear them up, but let me just first put a little glimpse into the future. End of August, beginning of September. This is where a little bit more change is actually going to happen for you. So all of this fight you've been putting up, and perseverance and strength you've been demonstrating, is going to reach some sort of a turning point at the end of the month. the Tower, okay? Let's not freak out. The Tower is just something that is cataclysmic, and you will notice the change. It's something that will stir something up, and what's needed to be stirred up seems psychological to me in nature, Leo. The Eight of Swords, when reverses, tells me you've been breaking out of this psychological trap of feeling like you're stuck, you're restricted, you have to stay there, you have to keep doing this, there's no way out of it for you. If I leave this job, I'll never get another job. These are the things we tell ourselves when we're living Eight of Swords energy. But when it reverses, I kind of see a freedom from this psychological bind that you've been in. So we're loosening it up by the end of the month. How is that going to happen? For some, it may be through an external circumstance that kind of propels this change to happen and gives you the, not even courage, but gives you the foresight or hindsight or perspective that's needed, that you can then eventually break out of this trap, okay? But what we have following the Tower is super beautiful. It's not like you're going to be falling on hard times when this Tower moment comes crashing down. Sometimes it feels like, it seems like it's going to be a really beautiful evolution for you. With the Tower moment, sometimes we feel like we're left with nothing after, or we've been like depleted of what we had before and it crumbled. Nine of Pentacles directly after tells me no, that's not what's going to be happening here. In fact, it's going to strengthen you even further. And you have had these tests of strength that you have physically been able to endure through your spirit and through that fight and fire you just have within you at the moment, Leo. And now what's happening is we land in the Nine of Pentacles after the Tower moment. That doesn't look too bad to me. We're going to clear it up, but this makes you feel very self-reliant, self-assured, independent. I don't really need to worry about everything that's crumbling around me or other people's circumstances, because you've built up something it could even be financial like this. You've built up something really secure and stable financially, so you're not really worried about when the chips fall. You've looked after yourself. And this can be this indication that was just it's going to be a period for you towards the start of September, Leo, where basically you can pat yourself on the shoulder and be like, thank God I prepared for that, and thank God I'm standing in such a strong and accomplished way. I'm very proud of myself, is what's coming through. Let's look at these cards together, Leo, and clear them up with some more. Let's get into these cards, Leo. As you can see, the spread is pretty fire dominated with these wand card energies. As well as that, I would like to just give a quick description on the new moon in Leo that has happened in relation to Leo rising. So I do give an insight into astrology in these readings too, and more so from the rising sign position, but this can still be applicable to Leo. Leo rising, your new moon fell in the first house of identity, physical body, mental state of mind, self, how you portray yourself to the world. And this may have brought about a new beginning in what's possible for you in this way. So you may have started to feel new beginnings emerging around what's possible for you in terms of your physical appearance, in terms of your own vitality, in terms of putting yourself out there to the world and establishing a sense of identity. Meanwhile, the full moons are happening in Aquarius. So we've had 2 full moons in Aquarius in 2021. That's a blue moon. So that's kind of when we have 2 full moons in the same sign, or sometimes a blue moon would be 2 full moons in the same month, okay? So it's like a mini blue moon. So the full moon in Aquarius is happening at the end of the month, and that's happening in your sister sign Aquarius. So around that time you may start be feeling at Leo rising turning points or culmination in your 7th house of romantic relationships and business partnerships. Now there may have already been some sort of, and here we go, the moon again. So it's like, okay, let me sum this up. You may have felt with before that there was some sort of a turning point in your relationship, or some sort of a cord cutting energy between your romantic relationships and your close business partnerships. And now again at the end of the month, it's kind of more of a final point in that. So if you had been feeling like turning points in your romantic relationships, or even behaviors ending, now that doesn't have to be a breakup, but there is some sort of a chapter being closed, to say the least, for Leo rising's romantic relationships or business partnerships this month, fueled by the Leo new moon representing new beginnings. So we have to basically clear some of the old to make way for the new, and that's what's happening now at the end of the month for Leo rising in the Aquarius full moon in their 7th house of partnership. Okay, So we could be just, that does not mean a breakup, but we could be just clearing up old energy to make way for new. Let's have a look at this first row. What have you been fighting for? You're still fighting for it, but you really started to pick up the speed around the end of July on this into August, picking up that speed. Oh yeah, so you were flying through this and you really wanted to make this happen. You were taking the action. So we've got the Queen of Cups and we've got the Two of Cups. This is very romantic energy. There may have been quickness and changeability around your romantic relationships at the end of July, coming into August. You might have noticed change, people going in different directions at this point. We do have the Queen of Cups still looking at the King of Wands. So if you're the King of Wands here, it does look like the person you're dealing with is still very interested in you and like looking towards you. You may have your back up against them, however, but overall this is really absolutely beautiful energy, especially for those that really are in a relationship and they're making things work at this time. The Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups is Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups is extremely supportive for great emotional flow between people, a lot of love, a lot of happiness. So for some of you, you have not given up the fight for this relationship. You haven't given up the fight for the people that you love. If this isn't a romantic relationship, the Queen of Cups is a very nurturing, motherly energy. It doesn't have to mean that you are a mother, but it means that you are nurturing your dreams, Leo. You're nurturing something. And for some of you, it will be a romantic relationship that you're nurturing. But the Lover's card is also about freedom and liberation and alignment. So and our desires, it's our true desire. So it's like you have not given up the fight for that. More actually, never mind not giving up the fight for it. You're putting your heart and soul into this. You are growing this, nurturing it, making it something that can even be birthed out into the world. And if it isn't a romantic relationship, or you're not a parent, or you're not nurturing something, unbeknownst to yourself then, if this isn't really applicable, what you're doing, Leo, and this fight that you're putting up for what's right, for what you desire, for your biggest dreams and aspirations for yourself personally, or even for the collective, you are doing this because you care about others, you care about people, you love people, Leo. And that's really coming through for me at this time. So let's go into this reading a little more and let's find out what this August energy is. So not putting down those wands yet, going to keep fighting. Judgment card is saying, keep it up, Leo. This breakthrough hasn't fully happened yet. It's on its way, and when it does break through to you finally, oh boy, you are going to feel it. It's going to be like a freaking angel blowing a horn down, raising you from the dead and saying, wake up, Leo, it's time to do this. It's time to take action. It's time to make a decision on this. And Judgment card is a major arcana card. It's also very karmic. So this is your time to do this. Step up, Leo. You are being heralded at this time. So if you feel energetically like you are being called to do more, or even put yourself further out there, put yourself further out on the line, defend yourself even more, defend what it is that is important to you to protect and nurture and keep growing. Judgment card is saying, this month you're going to feel it. Let me just pull one more card just to get another message on that. What's Judgment saying to us? The World. Oh wow, this is big energy, Leo, for you. This is another karmic card. So really, I look at the karmic cards in the tarot: World, Judgment, Wheel of Fortune a little to a lesser extent, and maybe to a lesser extent again Justice. But the World and Judgment for sure are my kind of karmic indicators. And this is like, you must do this. Gosh, no pressure, Leo, but I know you can handle it because you have been handling, and why you're so motivated and you have this inner fire and fight that I'm seeing. And I think I'm going to call this reading that, fire and fight, because you won't give up, because you know how important it is. So I'm not telling you must do anything. You know that yourself. You feel this. You feel that this is so important that you cannot not do it. You have to bring this full circle. You have to bring this to culmination, and it has to happen in your eyes. All right. More power to you, Leo. If anyone can do it, it's you. You've got the sun in your sign, and it's just giving you that extra bit of oomph and vitality. Leo rising, if this is applying to you, Venus moves into your third house of communication on August 16th. That's going to be a really beneficial time in your life. So August 16th, for about a month, you're going to have better flow and grace in your communication. and if that's going to be helpful for you to get your point across, maybe August 16th onwards, when Venus is in Libra in Leo rising's third house, that could be a really positive time to make your voice heard, and it to be to be appreciated and to be kind of taken on easier. Let's look at this turning point we're reaching at the end of the month, as far as I can see. August into September, there will be a shift that may actually happen for you on an external that in fact kind of shifts your internal at the same time. So let's see what that's going to be. And these are general messages, Leo, so they may not apply to everybody watching. Just take what does today and leave the rest. More wand energy, 8 of wands, okay? And the 2 of pentacles. So whatever happens as a turning point at the end of the month, where things may feel unpredictable and even slightly unsteady afterwards. You may be kind of feeling like you're back and forth. This person looks a little out of balance, 1 foot off the ground. I don't know what they're kind of trying to balance there, but it seems like, Leo, you may have a little bit of a balancing act or a decision making to do by the end of the month. And like I said before, the speed in which this all took off at the start of the month, end of July, you were beginning to really implement what it is you were willing to fight for and even recognize it. As quickly as that kind of happened for you, it seems to continue in such a pace where things still move very quickly around this. Things keep moving forward. There's progression on it. 8 of wands, I see it continuing. So that's good. You have the momentum there with you on your side to make the changes that you need to make, basically. And that might just come from an external. Mars here just kind of let me see, we have Mars in Leo rising second house. So if it is around money matters, which is the second house, Leo rising, you will probably see a shift in terms of any strife that had been happening in your money house, any conflict, any hardship around money matters. Leo rising, you could sort of see a shift in that once Mars leaves the sign of Virgo and moves into your third house. But for now, you're probably seeing some greater strife, Leo rising, around your personal finances. That could be what shifts and changes, and you have to make a financial decision. But fortunately, if it's around finances, Leo, I see this being pretty solid for you still, even though you may need to make some decisions about your finances and actually make a move on them and start to communicate to somebody important in your life about money matters for whatever reason. It seems like you have a really good basis for what you're doing, and you seem very, very strong this month. This reading is absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy to see it for you, Leo. The Tower moment needn't be scary. Look at all of what you have around you. You have love around you, you have support, you have a true dream, and you have aspirations, and you're not afraid to fight for them. You're not ready to give up. What needed to happen was you getting out of 8 of Swords, and by the end of the month you do seem more free and less restricted, if not physically, at least in your own mind, about what is possible for you, Leo. Enjoy the rest of your birthday month. Love that for you, and I will see you the next time. Bye, Leo.